Welcome, welcome to the bonus session on songwriting. Third time lucky. Here we go. We're going to look at three different ways that you can write a song. Songwriting and making music or making up new music. That's the most fun and best thing to do in all of music for me. So here we go. It's very exciting. The first way we're going to look at how to write a song is the way that musicians like Woody Guthrie and Bob Dylan used to do it back in the days when to write a folk song, what they would do is just take an existing melody, a lot of the time, an existing song, an old melody, they would write new words for it. Same thing happens in Irish music, like for example, Danny Boy, the melody for that song existed long before someone took those words and put it with that melody and it became what we know as Danny Boy today. But here, I'm going to play an example. Now, this is a Woody Guthrie song called 1913 Massacre. This Woody Guthrie song. So I'm going to pause it because I can't record this. Could everyone hear how similar those songs were to each other? The melodies, like, it's pretty much the same, but different words. So I think if that method is good enough to start Bob Dylan, it's good enough for anyone. But nowadays, you're not going to be recording those songs on your albums and releasing them unless you want to get into big trouble with copyright and all that, because it's different now. Back then, when Bob Dylan released his first album on Columbia in the early 60s, nobody cared that that was the same melody as an earlier Woody Guthrie song from 1944, which anyway was from an earlier song of some earlier time. See, it's just like melodies existed and they changed the words and wrote a new song. So we're not going to actually do this now, but I think that if any of you want a really easy way to start getting your foot in the door, just take any song that you like and try and change the words and come up with a different version of that song. And it's just for yourself. It's just a little easy project that you could do. It's, you can play it for, us in class and your friends or whatever, but it's just like a good way to start songwriting without having to come up with a whole new thing. And like, if you make it a funny song, actually, that is allowed. Like Weird Al Yankovic, you know him, he makes up funny versions of songs. That is allowed. You're allowed to kind of do a satirical version of something else. And you could even share it in public and everything. So, if you make up a funny version, you're good to go. So that's the first method of writing a song. The second method, which we'll look at in a bit more detail. So this method is using music theory and some random elements and creating something new. And most of you have done this from time to time in class where we've like just come up with a chord sequence and we've created something, not a whole song probably, but we've like made up bits and pieces here and there, and sometimes it sounds really good, sometimes better than others. To do this method of writing a song, a little bit of music theory. So we're going to take the chords in the key of G. Now, if you don't know the chords in the key of G, that's okay. You can just take it as there are these 7 chords that I'll give you. But if you do understand how to get the chords in the key of G, then you understand how you can take chords from any key. You could start with any key and get the 7 chords from that key and do this method in any key. So I'm going to write in the chat window so you have the chords in front of you there. So we have the chord 1 G major, and we have the chord 2 A minor, and we have the chord 3 B minor, and we have the chord 4 C major, and we have the chord 5 D major, and we have the chord 6 E minor. Okay, everyone can see those in the chat? Good. Now, notice that I wrote the number in a Roman numeral. That's very important because in music, a Roman numeral is tells you that you're talking about the number of a chord in the key. Okay, so that kind of is very important. It tells you a good bit of information. If you just wrote the symbol 5, that could mean anything. But if you wrote a V, then it means, oh, that's the 5 chord in a certain key. All right, so now we're gonna mix up those chords in different orders. All right, so I'm gonna like just pick someone at random. Jeanette, you're first. You unmute yourself and give me a number between 1 and 6.
4.
4, great. So we're starting with C. And now, Lorcan, please, another number.
2.
2, so we're going A minor. And now, Les, you pick the third number, not 2 or... Oops. Not 2 or... Oh, I've changed the view, I'm saying. Speak of view. Yeah, Les, you unmute yourself and pick one, not 4 or 2.
Yeah, 5.
Oh yeah, 5. Okay, so that would be D. And then Nadia, you pick the fourth chord.
1.
Sorry, say again, Nadia.
1.
1. Okay, now we're on to G. Okay, that's the first chord sequence we have. C, A minor, D, and G. We're going to do another one. Lorcan, you pick one. Anyone can be one of those ones as well. Doesn't have to be any number between 1 and 6. 5.
5. Yeah.
Okay, we got D. And then Vikran, you pick a number between 1 and 6, not 5.
I have a question. Wasn't the 7th one diminished?
Ah, yeah, good question. I left that one out.
Okay.
Why did I leave that one out?
Because it's diminished and it's hard to make. Because on the diminished you have to do like this.
It's because it's diminished and it just doesn't, it sounds really different from all the other ones. It doesn't really fit in for most songs unless you're writing like jazz or something. We're not going to write jazz tonight. Everyone's
Okay,
like,
6.
6 is E minor. Great. And Brian, number from you?
3.
Oh, great. We didn't have 3 before. We've got B minor, and now I'll put in C. So that's a second 4. Okay. I want to get one more group of chords. Carl, you pick one. Can't hear you, Carl. You got your mic on? Oh, hold up your fingers so I can just see. 1. Okay, we've got G. Nadia, you do one with your fingers. 3, B minor. And Lorcan, you pick another one. 2, A minor. And Brian, last one. 1. We had one already, not that one.
4.
Yeah, okay. Okay, now we've got 3 4-chord sequences. I'll play them. You can play them if you want to at home. This is the first one. C, A minor, D, G. Try a different sound. C, A minor, D, G. Second one is D, E minor, B minor, and C. Like that one. Okay, and then G. Cool. Okay, good. There's loads of stuff there we can use. Now, as we go on making this song, I might change that. That's not gonna, it's not like, can't change that because it has to be that way. It's not like that. It's just using random number generators, i.e. you, to just randomly create chord sequences, and that gives us something to work with. And then we can adjust it and see what we can come up with later on. using our ear as well. Okay, next, before we start getting into that, let's talk about song structure for a minute. So, song structure, there are only about 8 song structures for most popular music, like most songs. If you're not talking about like progressive metal or like classical or jazz, just within most songs, there's only 8 structures, and really there's only 4 common song structures. So I've got notes for this which I'll send you, but it's probably good if you take notes yourself as well if you want to remember it. So where I learned this from is this guy called Ralph Murphy is a really good songwriting. He's a songwriter who most songwriters have heard of. Like, he's got many hits in his career, but he wouldn't be like not everybody who's not a songwriter has heard of him. But he used to come to Dublin every year and do these songwriting seminars. And I went to at least 2 of them. And he's Canadian, really good songwriting, really good songwriter and really good teacher of it. And he used to say this really funny thing right at the beginning of the seminar to a room full of songwriters at Imro in Dublin. And he'd say, like, anybody can write a song. Anybody. My grandmother can write a song. My dog can write a song. Anyone can write a song. But writing a hit, that's not easy. So his thing was just write a hit, write a hit. And he would write like 350 songs a year when he was in his prime of being a songwriter full time. You know, a song a day all through the year and get like 3 or 4 hits. That's massive kind of, if you get that many hits, you're super successful. So, but it was just like churning out songs all the time. Every day, a new one. So I thought that was pretty funny. But what we're looking at today is just the song part, not the hit part. We don't care about if it's a hit or not. We just want to write a song. How do you write a song? Well, it's not that hard. Like he was saying, it's not that hard to write a song. It's hard to write a really great song that becomes a hit, but that's not where you start. You don't start with that. You start with, let me write a song. It just has to be a song. Okay. So we're going to take one of these 4 structures. What are the 4 structures? The first one may be pretty obvious. It would be verse, chorus, and then probably verse, chorus, chorus, chorus. It usually ends with repeated choruses. So that's the simplest structure of song. Just verses, choruses, alternating till the end. That's song structure number 1. Song structure number 2 starts with the chorus first. So chorus, verse, chorus, chorus, chorus. That's song structure 2. What's the difference between a verse and a chorus? Anyone want to guess what? Yeah, Vikram, what's the difference between the chorus and the verse?
Well, the chorus is kind of repetitive, and it's kind of I mean, most pop music is the song is usually called the phrase in the chorus.
Yeah, that's right.
It's more repetitive. When the verse is like, each verse is different, but the chorus stays the same. And
Yes,
the chorus is like the main kind of thing that they're trying to say.
exactly. You nailed it, Vikram. That's it. The chorus is sometimes called the hook of the song. It's the catchy part that stays the same. Each chorus is the same. And the verses change and usually tell a story. Many songs follow some kind of chronology where the verses take you through different times, like the past, the present, the future. They don't have to, or different stages of the past. But many songs do that. But the chorus just is the thing that stays the same. The main part of the song. And you might not have noticed this, but there's like these lots of songs where you hear the chorus first. The song starts with the chorus. Now, you can have an intro and an outro as well. They're kind of optional extras. They're not different structures. They're just optional things you can do. So that's 2 structures. And then the 3rd structure is where you put a bridge into it. A bridge is a section of music that only happens once in the song, and it usually happens after chorus. So it'd be verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, chorus. The bridge is like where it brings you into some alternate, what if this happened? Lyrically, it could be like that. Oh, but what if blah, blah, blah. So that's what, and musically a bridge goes somewhere else as well, which is pretty good if you want your song to be more interesting and you're just getting bored of verse, chorus, put in a bridge. And then the fourth structure is very common now to also have a pre-chorus, which is a section just before the chorus. So it would be verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and then optionally a bridge, and then the chorus. That's the fourth structure that you'll find. And it's a really good idea to start to listen, the songs that you're listening to, try to figure out which one of those four, or is it a different one? Now the other four structures are things like A-A-B-A or A-B-A-C, older kind of Broadway standards that they don't tend to be common now in songs, but when you were doing things like All of Me or, you know, those jazz standards, Autumn Leaves, they have different kinds of structures that are the other four structures. Okay, so it's kind of tempting to try and go for we have to pick one of these structures, and we're going to try and populate these parts with our little chord sequences. So we have 3 chord sequences ready. So we won't go for oh, well, it's kind of interesting to do the pre-chorus. Does anyone have any of those 4 structures that they would like to try and... Yeah, Vikram, which one do you want to do?
The one with the last one.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. All right. Yeah, the one with the pre-chorus, because that's cool. Now, pre-choruses aren't as long a section as a verse or a chorus usually. Although they can be up to like 8 bars long, I think. But mainly they're probably usually around 4 bars long. And lots of songwriters will write the lyrics first and have these sections kind of based on lyrics. I'm definitely not someone who writes lyrics first and thinks of the structure based on the lyrics. I don't do that. I'll sometimes write lyrics or just ideas for songs in a notebook, so I always have a notebook to look at. But I'm not lyrically driven, really. I'm more harmonically and melody driven. So I'll like make the song and the structure based on chords and melodies. Okay, so here we go. We need to pick one of these and have it be a verse. And then we're going to come up with a pre-chorus and a chorus from them. So I'll play through them again and we'll see which one is the most verse-like. So we had C. Oh, that's kind of interesting to me. It is quite verse-like. And the second one was... Actually, yeah, that one's quite verse-like too. And then we have this one. Okay, I think they all could be a verse. Let's do a vote. Let's see. If you think number 1 should be the verse, put up your hand. Yes, Nadia thinks number 1. And Carl. Okay, we've got 2 votes for number 1. What about number 2? Who votes for number 2 for the verse? We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and number 3 for the verse? Just 1. Okay, very interesting. That is very interesting. We're writing a song by a democratic song. Voting for the sections. Okay, that was number 2 that won, wasn't it? Number 2 won. So we've got, this is the verse, is D, E minor, B minor, C. All right, so we've got D, E minor, B minor, C. Oops. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that. And then we're going to repeat that probably 4 times. The verse will be that 4 times. Then we're going to get into the chorus via the pre-chorus. So I think none of those sections probably were like really obvious choruses straight away. They weren't that like much of a strong hook. Or well, maybe there would be. The melody is the hook, but the chords need to kind of give you something. So let me think about changing it a bit. But I'll make the chords shorter for the chorus. I mean the length of time shorter, okay? Before I was playing 1 bar each. But now I'm going to change it to half a bar each, which is called changing the harmonic rhythm, which is a very important songwriting technique, changing the harmonic rhythm when you change the section. So before, if I was going like, that would be 1 bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. But I think, yeah, let's try this one. If I went just 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, that sounds a bit more chorusy. So that was number 3. I picked that one because it starts on a G, and the song's in G, and we haven't had a G yet, so that could be cool. We haven't, yeah, that's interesting. We were in the key of G, but we haven't had any G yet in the verse, so we could kind of build it up, right? And then in the chorus, we hit G, which is the key that we're in. So that could be a cool release when we get to the chorus. So we go, let's see. So the chorus is gonna be G, B minor, A minor, and then C. Oh, G, dun, dun, dun. No, not that. G, dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that's good. This is kind of the bass movement. The bass movement of the chords gives you a good feel for what it sounds like. So just the bass movement is like. So I've changed the rhythm, and I've also added a D at the end. So what we had before, you can see in the chat, we had G, B minor, A minor, C, which would have been pretty boring if it was 1 bar of each. So I'm going to make it G, I'm going to make it G, B minor in 1 bar, and then I'm going to make it A minor, ching, 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 C, C. I'm going G. Yeah, okay, G, B minor, A minor, and then C for 1.5 bars, and then D at the end, right at the end. Okay, so that one, that's the chorus. I didn't write chorus. So we have verse, and then we have the chorus. Okay, never mind, I can't write that now. Chorus. All right, so G, B minor, A minor, and then C, and then C, and then D, and then G. The A sounds pretty funny. Oh, that would sound really weird. I was playing around with the quality of the chords now. I'm going to try making, what if it's not A minor, what if it's A instead? I want to hear different things to see if it will sound better. So D, B, I like G, and then B minor. No. Ooh. Maybe E minor instead of A minor. Oh, we need to have a vote on this one. Okay, well, we have the chorus be G, B minor, A minor, C, D. Will we have that, or will we have G, B minor, E minor, C, and a D? Okay, who thinks we should have A minor, the first one? Put your hand up. 1, 2, keep your hand up. Vic, when your video's off. It looks like only 2 And then for the E minor, we got 1, 2, the second one, 3. Oh, it's close. 4. Yeah, the E minor wins it. Okay, we're gonna have E minor in the chorus. It sounds a bit more what's the word? A minor is a little bit it doesn't fit as well. A minor doesn't fit as well, I think, as E minor. It could be interesting, but I think we have quite an unusual verse, and we might have a weird pre-chorus. So it would be good if the chorus is quite like fitting. Yeah, so I think that's a good call to go G, E minor, and the C. Yeah, I think that's good. That's good. So I've got to change this now. Its chorus is G, B minor, E minor, and then C, and then C, and then D. All right, that's cool. So now we have a verse and we have a chorus. We need a pre-chorus and a bridge. So that's no problem. We're going to have a pre-chorus be a short section leading us into a G. Okay, so our end of the verse is on a C. So our verse is D, E minor, B minor, and C. So what chords lead to G? Who knows what chord leads to a G really well? Lorcan, you should know. Carl, you should know.
Like a C, maybe?
A C is one of them that could lead to a G, and we're on a C, or
A D, maybe?
D is the one that's the strongest change is from the 5 chord to the 1 chord. So in the key of G, the 5 chord is D and the 1 chord is G. So if we're on a D chord, we have a strong pull to G, or a very strong change to G from D. So with this song, at the end, we want to kind of go a pre-chorus that ends in D, okay, and it starts somewhere else. So what I might do for this pre-chorus, instead of having a kind of chord sequence, we could come up with loads more random ones till we get one that we like. Or we could just go, we're going to end in D, and the last chord is C on the verse. But what if we just went 4 chords that went like A, B minor, C, D, and then we went to the chorus. Yeah, so that might work well. Just going A, what did it say? A minor, B minor, C, D. That could be the pre-chorus. And yeah, okay. I'm gonna write that pre-chorus. We're gonna just go A minor, B minor, C, D, and we'll stay on D for a while. Okay. So now we've got verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus. We're gonna do all that again. Then we're gonna have a bridge. We don't have the bridge yet, and then we're gonna have just the chorus repeated, and that'll be the whole song. Will be about like maybe 2.5 minutes long. Okay, let's have a listen to what it sounds like with the verse, pre-chorus, and chorus. Verse, pre-chorus, and chorus. Let's see how that sounds from the start. Okay, I might try and loop it actually. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. song done. No, only joking. It's not done yet. But what do we think of that? Any comments or suggestions? Or did you hear that I put in a whole new bridge section? I just improvised a bridge section. What were the chords in the bridge? Someone tell me.
I like the verse.
Yeah?
It sounds like there's a band called Creed. I don't know if you know that band. It's similar to Nickelback, but it sounds like that.
Like Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah.
Creed.
It is actually a bit like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who noticed what the chords were in the bridge? Anyone? You have to be.
You have me there.
Okay. In the bridge, I started on a C, and I made the chords longer. So again, harmonic rhythm change is a different section. C, and then we went to G, but a different inversion, and then A minor, and then a kind of a D, D sus4, D7, and we did that twice for the bridge. So I'm gonna say, well, that's a working bridge for now. C, C, G over B. It was G over B, G over B, and then A minor, and then D sus4, D7. Well, D7 sus4 to be exact. D7 sus4 and D7. Okay, so wonder how long it was. I didn't time it. Did anyone time it?
No.
We have to see about making a melody over it. So that would be a good structure that we've got now. And it's great to have something where you build the structure of it. You know, I think a lot of the times the way people approach writing a song would be very much, okay, here's bar 1. What's bar 2 gonna be? And then what's bar 3 gonna be? And then, oh, I've run out of ideas already. I'm only on 3 bars. Oh, you'll never get the song written if it's like that. So this way, it didn't take us long, 20 minutes maybe, and we have a whole structure that's written. It's not like cemented in stone, but it's got all the parts you need. And then you can start populating them with lyrics and melody, and you can then see how to improve different sections if they're not working. So to come up with a melody, there's a couple of ways you could do that. If you're a good singer, you could just start trying to sing lines over those chords and see what happened. I won't try and do that. But otherwise, you could try and play stuff over using scales, or we're in the key of G now, so of course we could play the G major pentatonic. And that might be good actually for a melody. Let me try something and see what it sounds like.
You come out.
That's good for the verse, I think. So all you need is some lyrics, then you've got the whole verse. You could just make up some words about anything that happened to you during your day. You can all try and do that. But we'll leave out the lyrics because we only have a little bit of time. So if we have
Can I ask a quick question on that, Dan?
Yeah, fire away, lads.
Just on the lyrics, what way do you typically layer them over? Are they kind of a syllable per chord, or
A syllable per melody note.
them in and time them in?
So see when I played the melody there. Da 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 da. Like what some songwriters will like just vocalize sounds until they sound like words, and then words will form from the melody. Some people do it that way. Other people will like prefer to write words and come up with lines and then try and fit them to the melody. But I think I prefer to approach it usually from, well, I was saying I'm not that lyrically driven, so I'm more think of the chords, think of the melody, and then get the words. I prefer getting the words later on. Also, you can see how like the melody sounding, what's the feel of it, what's the vibe of it. but there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's absolutely like anything goes. So if somebody else wrote the words, I would be very happy to start with words and then turn it into a song. But I don't have any words to start with. But that's how Elton John did it, you know, with Bernie Taupin wrote all the words, and Elton John sits at the piano, has the words, and boom, song comes out. So, does that make sense, Les?
It does. It's just I've always been intrigued how, like, say you wrote a poem or something. So that's going to be the words in the song, and you wrote it with rhymes and meaning and metaphors and all that kind of cool stuff. And then you want to layer it onto a structure like this, which is constrained to those kind of timings and 4 bars. In the words, I don't know what I suppose songs like Ride On, where you just the first 2 notes are 2 bars. you can squeeze it in that way. So I suppose you readjust your structure more around the kind of rhythm bit that need be.
Well, yeah, so the good point. You can, I mean, there's a kind of a scale or spectrum of songs where you've got, like, let's say, a kind of vocal driven pop song that has very few words with very long vowels, so that, like, say if there's like a diva singing, they can do a lot with like monosyllabic words, like, you know, that can stretch out and contain lots of notes in them. So in those kind of songs you need very simple few words and you've got more melody. But then you have a Bob Dylan song where there's like a lot of information in the words. There's probably a lot more words. Say like Hurricane, there's loads and loads of words in Hurricane, and it's telling a story. It's almost like you're watching a film when you hear the song. So there's like a huge kind of spectrum of songs between each of those. So, but this one I would go with, like, just what is the melody like? The melody is like, so that's like 2 lines, kind of dum da da da. What could you say in that time? Da 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 da. You could, you know, there wouldn't be that many words that you could fit in that. Dum da da da. 4 syllables. You could have 1 4-syllable word, or you could have 4 1-syllable words, or any kind of combination like that. And then the next phrase, dun dun da da, 4 as well. So you got 4 syllables, 4 syllables. That's like 1 line of our verse. So probably not. It's probably not going to make sense if you have 4-syllable words. You can't really do that much. Maybe. I don't know. You could maybe come up with something. Imagination.
I got a good one.
What's your one, Nadia? Go.
Hi, how are you? I'm running, na na na. I don't know.
Exactly. That's how you start doing it. Hi, how are you? I'm
Hi, na na na.
running down the road is the next line then. Something like that. Hi, how are you? What's the word? Hi, how are you? Forgot the verse already. Oh. Hi, hi. Oh, we can't start on that melody note. That was a mistake. Hi, hi, how are you? That could be hi, how are you? I'm running down the na 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 na. This is a good pop song. Someone take this and turn it into a pop song. Okay, and then let's look at, that's gonna go 4 times for the verse. Then we got the pre-chorus. That's not gonna have a lot of melody going on over it. Just 4 notes probably, just like following the chords. Dum 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 dum. Just like those 4 notes. Dum 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 da dum 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 da dum dum. So, and then we have this chorus bit, could be something catchy. We need something catchy. that will work. That's nice. Here, check it out. Then it goes back into the verse. I forgot what I did a second ago. That wasn't it. Maybe it was that. Oh. And that was it. It was just, it's so simple. It's just coming down the pentatonic scale. And then it's all very simple. This is how you write pop music. You just this could be a hit. Okay, and then all we have to do is write a bridge. And then the song is pretty much finished. Okay, we're gonna need lyric ideas, but so we're kind of out of time to finish this song tonight, but we've got a pretty good start. What do you reckon? Do you reckon that's a good start on the song?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you surprised how much of a song you could write in 40 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay.
Informative.
Good. Before we finish, I'll just go over the third way to write a song. It's Paul McCartney's method. I probably mentioned this to some of you before, but I was listening to this interview with Paul McCartney, and he was talking about the Paul McCartney's secrets of songwriting. That was what it was called. It's on BBC website or something like that. And it's like a radio interview with Paul McCartney. And it's kind of funny. It was just when they got into it, and like the interviewer was asking him, how do you write songs? He's basically, how he writes songs is he sits down at the piano or with the guitar and he plays, and the song just comes out. Like, he improvises the songs. So there is no secrets of, like, he's like, I don't know how I do it. They just come out when I start playing.
And would these be random chords he play?
Kind of. I mean, it's not random because it's like he's hearing a song. You know, if I improvise something, I don't know what I'm going to play before I play it. And he can do that with a whole song. It's very, very high level of songwriting. It's funny, you can't explain it, like what he's doing.
Will it not be a gift?
Yeah, definitely it is. Definitely it is a gift. But the reason why I put it in here, I mean, it's more advanced for sure. But the thing is, it's definitely a valid way to try to do it. Now, you'd probably want to be able to play a good few songs before you did that. But if you think about it, it's not that different to what we just did. You just start doing it with no kind of pre-plan at all. You just start going like if I sat down here, I did it earlier, so this isn't completely brand new, if I'm honest, but like just before this, I was just like, okay, what if I tried to do it? And I was driving in the rain earlier, so I was like, I can't remember it now, it's gone. Something like, these were the chords. Driving in the rain. Na, 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 na. Da, 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 da. Waiting for the break when the clouds and oops, now we go to da, 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 da. you know, that's just like ideas that came out in that technique of writing a song where you just go, just see what happens. And that will get stronger and stronger the more you do it. If you did that every day, then you could get to the point eventually where when you did that, a whole song comes out. And, you know, sometimes the words just come as well. Question or comment, anyone? Yeah, Lorcan.
Yeah. So that third difficult way, would McCartney have had even the key in his head? Would he be still? Yes.
Yes, he would. He said that he would pick a key.
All right. Cool.
So that's a good question. It's not random chords. You're just so used to playing in a certain key that you just start to play and it leads you somewhere. Like when I was doing those chords there, D, B minor. I'm somewhere in the back of my mind, I know this is in the key of D. It's going back to D again. Doing a few spicier chords there, leading back to D. And then in the next section, I knew G would sound good because it's the 4 chord. And the new section, the 4 chord always sounds good. And it does. You're lifting it, you're going somewhere else. You're going on the... So there's all these kind of like, I don't want to call them rules, but they're like things that work, that you pick up from other songs that you learn. And you can be good at using those on the fly and a song will come out if you get used to that method. It's probably not for everyone. There's probably songwriters who way prefer to work very slowly and methodically and create, you know, one song over a longer period of time. And then there's other people like Paul McCartney who just like sit down and do it and it comes out. Like one of my students, you guys know Bill, but Bill told me he's a friend who knows Paul McCartney from being back in school with him in Liverpool or something, and he is a documentary maker, and he made a documentary with Paul McCartney, and during that documentary they went to the old school where they used to go to school, and in one part of the film when he was filming him, Paul McCartney just played a song, and then at the end the guy was like, "What song was that?" And Paul McCartney was like, "I don't know, I just made it up right there." And sounded like a finished song. And that's like, that documentary never came out, so that song's just, no one's ever heard it. It's just sitting on some hard drive somewhere. But like, yeah, it's pretty amazing.
There you go.
So
I'd like a piece of that. Yeah.
Here's another
It's
one.
like, it's like this song, this song
Yeah,
tonight, right?
yeah.
So how are we going to share the royalties when actually,
Well, this like
it's just,
it's an 8-way split.
Okay.
What's that?
Well-
12.5% each.
I'll get on to all my friends to download it.
trust you? Can we trust you then? I don't know.
Oh, I'll be long gone. Drive off in my Lambo.
Yeah.
Now you're right though. When you do it like collaborations with people, you have to decide first straight away what's the split going to be.
Make up the contract.
That's right. Everyone has to agree.
Yeah.
So this will be an equal split, 12.5% each. But we still need to go quite a long way with it. But I do think it would be worth finishing it. It would be fun to do. So, and if you guys can keep it in mind and
Sort of develop it a little bit. Is that what you mean?
yeah, develop it. Right. Anyone have any ideas for lyrics? Write them down. Let's see where we can
Okay.
pick in class. I'll send you guys all a recording. I'll record the chords and the melody on top of it. And we'll
Okay.
see what.
And you reckon the first royalties will be in probably this time next year?
Maybe. Well, I'll tell you how long it takes. Once you get
Jesus.
once you-
Don't say 20 years.
yeah, once you get it recorded. So let's say we worked on the song for a month and we were happy with the song and we were like, okay, it's a good song now. Now we have to get it recorded. What's happened in the last couple of years is like every great session musician can record at home now. So you don't need to go and record you don't need to book any studio. No, you don't need to do that. You can just send emails around to session musicians and go, here, record a great guitar part there, and they'll go, yeah, okay. Then you get a drum part, someone records the drums, and then a bass player, and then some piano, and then the vocals will arrange those. And then all of this is going to cost a lot of money though, so get yourself saving up for all that. We'll say we'll do that for like €200 for each part, and we'll get like 4 nice parts. So €800. It's much cheaper than like renting a studio for a week. That will cost you €800 a day, and you have to pay the musicians. So we're getting like a proper pop, hi-fi recording for much less doing it this way. And then once it's all mixed and all, that will cost a bit more, and mastered, then that could take another couple of months, maybe 3 months. So that's 4 months from now. Everything's finished. It's ready to come out, and then we can start sending.
So you're probably talking about a Christmas release.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. That'd be nice.
Say we got it out for Christmas. That could influence the lyrics there. Give it a bit of a Christmas spin on the lyrics. And then, I mean, if we get radio play, the royalties will come in then a couple of months after that. And we'll all be able to split the €34. So it'll be brilliant. Let's definitely do it.
But when they've written a song, that's what it's all about. We'll be able to get a coffee each.
We'll make minus €717.
But the credit card's always good for that.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. It could go.
Oh, God. Well, it was very enjoyable, the hour anyway, I must say.
Good. I'm glad. I'm interested to see where this song goes now.
Okay, we'll be working on that.
If we don't turn it into a hi-fi pop song, it's still, that's what it's about. Just writing them. That's the best thing. Just write them and see where it, see how good you can get it, and then the next one, and then the next one. Just one last thing with this quote. I'll probably told you this one before, but I love this quote. It's what Andy Warhol said about art: is just make it and don't worry if it's good or bad. Just make the art, and then while other people are trying to decide whether it's good or bad, you just make more. And then you just keep on making more all the time. Enjoy the process of making it, and maybe no one will like it. It's beyond your control. But if you keep on doing it, you keep on getting better and better, then, who knows what will happen.
Fair enough. Well, I'm into the recording studio now.
All right.
Brilliant.
Thanks, Daniel.
Thanks, Daniel.
Good night.
See you guys very soon.
So, Daniel, we used the chords you gave us sort of a template. Is that it?
Yeah.
Well, we've got a rough chords and we've got a rough melody, and what we need now is we need lyrics. So get your lyric writing hats on and come up with some lyrics.
Okay, that's grand.
Okay.
Thanks, Daniel, again. Very enjoyable. See you guys. Have a good weekend.
See you, bye.
Bye.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
Thank you, Daniel.
Right. Thanks, Daniel.
Last questions. Anyone forgot to ask questions? Last questions? No, Vikram's gone. No questions. Cool. See you.
Bye. Bye.